When the first missile launched by Houthi forces from Yemen, an Iran-backed armed group, struck Abu Dhabi in 2022, the UAE had virtually no chance to react a second time. The defense system had to activate immediately. But if a larger conflict were to break out with Iran itself, could the UAE hold its ground? There is a detail few people notice. The UAE is the only country outside Europe that has actually deployed the Leclerc in combat and did not break it. In the Yemen war, the Leclerc operated in 50 degrees Celsius heat, fine dust, and extended logistics, an environment where many Western systems begin to struggle. But the Leclerc did not. It is not invincible. The advantage lies in its design philosophy. Fewer crew, more automation, strike fast, then withdraw. The autoloader reduces crew size, lighter than the Abrams, more mobile on sand. Its fire control system allows it to shoot first, hit first. The Leclerc outperforms the T-72. Compared to the Abrams, it is faster and more agile. It fits the UAE's fast strike, streamlined approach. The Leclerc does not decide the war for the UAE, but it decides whether the UAE can hold ground from the very first minute. If the Leclerc is the spearhead, the BMP-3 keeps the formation from stalling. Many militaries treat the BMP-3 as a temporary solution. The UAE turned it into a backbone. Soviet-style design, heavy firepower, a 100mm gun capable of firing missiles at the cost of limited protection. It shoots very well, but it does not want to be shot back. The Bradley prioritizes protection, while the BMP-3 leans toward firepower. The UAE chooses speed and pressure, not holding the line for long, but moving, striking, then withdrawing. The BMP-3 helps them maintain that tempo across wide areas. Not perfect, but fast enough to disrupt the enemy. This is no longer just a technical story, but a political one. The UAE understands a simple truth. Buying weapons does not mean mastering war. Rabdan is the answer. Turkish chassis, BMP-3 turret, assembled in the UAE. A hybrid configuration, but intentional. Avoid dependence on a single source, not locked into one ecosystem. Rabdan's protection level does not match the Boxer standard, but it is better suited to the UAE's budget and environment. Not the most optimal, but sustainable under prolonged war conditions. To understand how Yemen changed the UAE, look at MRAP, thousands of them. These are not tanks. They are mine-resistant vehicles, because in reality, there are not many symmetrical battles. Only IEDs, ambushes, and roads full of risk. MRAP solves that problem. A V-shaped hull disperses blast force. The crew survives, the mission continues. Bulky, less maneuverable, but in return, survivability. And in that environment, survivability matters more than speed. HIMARS changes the approach to ground firepower. No need to get close, still able to strike. Accurately, it targets rear areas, ammunition depots, command systems, before ground forces even make contact. GPS-guided rockets, high accuracy, long range. You can eliminate targets without the enemy identifying the launch position. In a scenario involving Iran, HIMARS does not hold territory, but it forces the opponent to pay a price from a safe distance. The UAE does not stop at HIMARS. They add Chunmoo. The reason is not technical, but dependency. Chunmoo provides additional options for munitions and supply sources. It reduces risk when one system is restricted. It is not as widely used as HIMARS, but it solves a bigger problem. When conflict happens, the question is not only about having weapons, but whether you can continue using them. Chunmoo helps the UAE maintain firepower even when supply chains are disrupted. Diversification, in this case, is strategic insurance. Not every system comes from the United States or South Korea. SR-5 is another option, less talked about, but it expands munitions compatibility and supply sources. In peacetime, that is not a priority. In war, it becomes critical. UAE Air Force. If the ground is where wars end, the sky determines how they begin. The UAE does not build its air force to balance forces. They build it to put the opponent at a disadvantage from the very start. A paradox. The most powerful F-16 variant does not fly under the U.S. flag. Block 60 is a custom configuration, optimized for long-range operations in desert environments. AESA radar increases detection capability. External fuel tanks extend endurance. Electronic warfare enhances survivability when locked on. It does not directly compete with the F-35, but the UAE does not need stealth in every situation. They need to see farther, strike earlier, and withdraw before being pulled into a disadvantage. Block 60 fulfills that role. Not everything is new. Mirage 2000-9 is a remnant of a previous generation, but not retired. It has been upgraded, modernized, and, more importantly, it has seen combat. Libya, Yemen. Not on paper. Compared to the F-16, it is inferior in sensors and systems. But in return, experience. The UAE does not keep the Mirage because it is the best. They keep it because it has been proven. In war, what has worked before always has its own value. If Block 60 is a technical optimization, then Rafale is a strategic choice. The UAE does not lack aircraft. They lack autonomy when war happens. Rafale solves that problem, not locked into a single ecosystem, able to integrate multiple types of weapons from different sources. The UAE has ordered 80 Rafale F4, with the first aircraft beginning delivery from the year 2025. But operational deployment will occur in phases, not all at once. The value of Rafale does not lie in specifications, but in its ability to switch roles quickly. It adapts to situations. In large conflicts, politics always comes before firepower, and Rafale helps the UAE avoid being stuck in between. Before firepower comes awareness. GlobalEye does not shoot, but decides who gets to shoot. Long-range radar tracks air, sea, and ground. Data is shared across the entire force. The result is a unified network instead of fragmented units. If GlobalEye is lost, the Air Force still exists, but loses coordination capability. In modern warfare, that is the difference between control and chaos. Power is not only in weapons, but in distance. C-17 allows the UAE to deploy forces quickly, far, and flexibly, carry heavy loads, land on limited runways, and connect territory to the battlefield. This has been proven in real operations. The difference is not what you have, but where you can bring it, and how fast. Apache maintains a constant role. Low-level approach, detect, destroy. Hellfire for armored targets. Rockets and cannon handle the rest. It operates at altitudes fighters do not descend to, and at distances infantry cannot handle. This method turns Apache into a bridge between air and ground. When rapid response is needed, it is often the first to appear, and the one that ends the situation. Not every mission is an attack. Most are movement. Black Hawk does that. Transport troops. Insert special forces, then extract them. Medical evacuation. Resupply. Not glamorous, but without it, everything else begins to slow down. Apache is firepower. Black Hawk is tempo. And in war, tempo often decides the outcome. UAE air defense. If the Air Force creates pressure, air defense reduces risk. The UAE does not rely on a single system. They build a layered network, each layer handling part of the threat. The earlier the interception, the higher the effectiveness. THAAD engages outside the atmosphere, using direct collision instead of a warhead. Its strength is not in the number of targets destroyed, but in reducing pressure on the lower layers. If this layer performs well, the layers below have less to handle. Patriot deals with threats at closer range, focused on high-speed targets, ballistic missiles, aircraft, complex threats. Not perfect, but combat-tested. For the UAE, this is the direct protection layer for critical infrastructure. When the outer layer is penetrated, this is the line that determines damage. The most dangerous threat is not long range, but the gap. KMSAM fills that gap. Medium range, fast reaction, flexible deployment. It does not replace, it connects the layers. It makes it harder for the opponent to find weaknesses to exploit. Not every threat flies high. Some fly low, fast, hard to detect. Barak 8 handles that part. A medium-range system designed to intercept cruise missiles and UAVs. It does not replace Patriot. It does not compete with THAAD. It sits in between, and that middle layer is often where vulnerabilities are most easily exploited. The UAE does not allow gaps to exist for long. The newest threats are not always large. Cheap drones, high volume, hard to detect. Expensive systems are not designed for this problem. Panzer and Sky Knight handle the rest. Short range, fast reaction, low-flying targets. Not prominent, but most frequently tested, because sometimes the most dangerous threat is the one cheap enough to appear in numbers you cannot shoot down entirely. UAV and future warfare. If the previous systems define how the UAE fights today, UAVs define how they prepare for tomorrow. A clear trend: lower cost, higher volume, humans gradually removed from the decision loop. The UAE is not standing aside. They are investing heavily in this direction. Many countries choose Chinese drones not because they are the best, but because they can be deployed immediately with fewer restrictions. Winglong 2 represents that philosophy. Long endurance, carries guided weapons, and sufficient precision for ground targets. Often replaces fighter jets in low to medium-risk missions. Compared to the MQ-9, it is less sophisticated, but it reduces cost and enables persistent presence. And that is the deciding factor. At a certain point, procurement is no longer enough. The UAE shifts to a control problem. What happens when supply is disrupted? Reach-S is the answer, not just a UAV, but a domestic ecosystem. Reconnaissance, strike, flexible integration. The difference is not in flight specifications, but in the entire chain being under UAE control. No dependence, no waiting. That is the real strategic advantage. Not every weapon needs speed. Shadow needs time. It flies, observes, waits, then chooses the moment. A model that has become common in recent conflicts. Not faster than missiles, but far more flexible. You do not need to know the exact target from the start. Just define the area. The rest, the system handles. Effectiveness comes from combining reconnaissance and strike into one platform. This is the most sensitive shift. Weapons do not just fly. They begin to choose. Darkwing represents that trend. Autonomous target recognition, response in very short time frames, operating independently or in groups. The result is reduced latency and increased combat speed, accompanied by a control problem. In an environment where reactions are measured in seconds, slower systems become targets. UAE Navy. The UAE does not need a blue water fleet. They need control over a small but sensitive maritime area. The Persian Gulf is not large, but risk density is high, and response speed is prioritized over size. In a littoral environment, large ships do not always have the advantage. Confined space, multi-directional threats. Rapid response matters more than absolute firepower. Bainuna is designed for that. Moderate size, sufficient anti-ship and air defense capability, reduced detection signature. Not the strongest, but suited for regional tactics. The opponent is not a large fleet, but small, fast, swarm-type vessels. When an extended range is required, Bainuna is no longer sufficient. Gowind adds depth, better sensors, anti-submarine capability, full multi-role capacity. It does not replace. It expands capability. This combination allows the UAE to adjust its approach depending on the situation. This is the clearest shift from defense to deployment. Makassar is not a traditional warship. It is a transport and amphibious platform, carries troops, armored vehicles, and helicopters, supports Operations Kharj the territory. This shows the UAE is not only holding a position, but is also ready to appear elsewhere when needed. Infantry weapons. At the final level, all technology comes back to one point: the soldier and what they carry in their hands. No radar, no satellites, only distance, reflex, and firepower. CAR 816 is the most basic form of UAE self-reliance. AR platform, easy to train, easy to maintain. The key point is not the mechanism, but domestic production. In a worst-case scenario, they do not need to wait for imports. Not groundbreaking, but ensures control. M4A1 is widespread because of its balance. Light, flexible, easy to customize. In urban environments, it allows the soldier to react one beat faster, and sometimes one beat is enough. HK416 retains the flexibility of the M4, but is more stable. The piston system reduces the impact of dust and heat, essential in Middle Eastern environments. Fewer malfunctions, which means heavier and more expensive. A familiar trade-off: Minimi does not need precision for every round. It keeps the enemy from raising their heads. Suppressive fire allows other units to move or withdraw. Controlling tempo is as important as accuracy. MEG focuses on area control. Larger caliber, longer range, often emplaced. When it fires, it creates a zone that the opponent avoids approaching. Not flexible, but hard to ignore. M2 has persisted across generations because of its effectiveness. .50 caliber rounds penetrate light vehicles, destroy fortifications, and create significant psychological pressure. When it fires, the question is no longer whether it hits, but whether to stay in position. Javelin allows engaging tanks from a distance, fire, and then leave the position immediately. Top attack warhead, hitting the weakest point, forces mechanized units to be more cautious. NLAU handles close range. Simple, single-use, suited for urban environments. Only needs to track the target for a few seconds. Reduces exposure time, a critical factor. Cornet is simple, powerful, and direct. Laser-guided, long-range, high penetration. In return, it requires maintaining target lock longer, higher risk. But when it hits, the result is clear. Carl Gustav is versatile and durable. Anti-armor, fortification breaching, support fire. Not outstanding in one role, but usable in all situations. When you are not sure what you will face, this is a safe choice. War does not wait for you to be ready. It only needs a moment to begin. The question is, will you still be standing? If you want to continue exploring the military arsenals of different countries, subscribe to the channel. We will meet again in the next analysis.